going to do some storytelling today. How are you guys? How's your Monday so far? I'm going to tell a story about the good girl. And in my case, it's like the good, smart girl persona that feels so comfortable, yet so freaking limiting. So, do you have an inner good girl or good smart girl within you? Do you recognize that archetype or persona within yourself? I want to know. Drop it in the comments below. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a bit of a story, and I'm going to take you along this journey with me, and I'm going to invite you to do some of your own healing through this story and as we go on this journey together. So I messaged my coach last night and I said, my empath feelers and general energy right now are burnt the fuck out. And then I let out a little bit of a venting moment. And I said, I want to transform this icky, sticky feeling into feeling alive and on fire. What do I do? Where's the magic wand? Like, how do I make this transformation happen? I wanted instantly, please, please, please. And my coach reflected back to me that I am often, she knows me really well by now. She said, I am often so loving to my people. And that includes my people my husband I live with, my family, my extended family, my clients and paid containers, my free community that you guys are all a part of. And I tend to be so loving to my people and like so empathically giving that sometimes it is at the expense of myself. Do any of you resonate with that? Where it's very common in empaths, where you are so loving, so heart-centered, so overflowing, gushing to the world, just want to offer healing to all the people because you know you can help. And then it is even at the expense of yourself and your own well-being. Do you guys relate to that? We give and we give and we give and we give. And then my coach invited me to step into my diva energy. Gulp. Literally my body was like, what does that entail? I don't know if I'm ready for that. The hell do I have to do to be a diva? And you can interpret the diva persona, so versus the good girl persona, or even the empath persona. The diva persona, you can interpret it in whichever way you really want to see it. But for me, it's like this powerful wanting to be seen in her full magic, flaunting her amazingness, bragging with every right in the world, dancing, booty shaking, sexual being. And I said, that feels scary. That threatens my inner good girl. Gulp again. And again, like this diva is loud and proud and provocative, and she's even polarizing, and polarizing is not a bad thing, and it can be actually, I teach it in business development. It can be super, super beneficial in your business. Yet there's still like the good girl who goes like, I don't want to polarize. I don't want to take any strong stance one way or the other way, even though my gut and my being tell me I do have an opinion. I shouldn't have an opinion because I make everyone happy at the expense of myself until I burn out and can't give any damn more. Are you resonating now? Oh, so then we decided to dive into it a bit because there's always something deeper. Y'all, There's always something deeper happening here. And oftentimes as a coach, if you're also a coach or a healer, a practitioner of some kind, a leader of some sorts, lately I'm like, I think I should just call myself an empath leader. The word coach is starting to not align as much, but I do coaching. Like, I do coach. Anyways, there's always another layer. There's always a deeper layer. And we can either choose to move on with the day and not look at the layer and just stay in our little fine, happy, good girl place, or we can go and we can lift up the rock and we can see all the ugly worms underneath it, and in that process we can transform it and we can have very quick shifts. So of course I was like, let's dive into the dirt. This is why I'm here. This is part of my path. I am constantly diving into my own dirt. And she presented this question to me, which is, what is in the way of my inner diva? Like, what feels threatening about that, more specifically? And I'm not sure if you're all going to resonate to another way of thinking about this, another analogy, but another analogy is big dick energy. That diva big dick energy. And if that like sparks something in you and you're like, whew, that feels interesting, there's probably some healing there for you. For me, I even feel weird saying that out loud. I'm like, what? Sarah doesn't say big dick energy. Like, huh? And I have to notice that within myself. You have to notice that if you want to grow, you have to notice that within yourself. What charge do these words have to them? And actually last week on my call with my coach, she reflected this back to me, this similar energy. And she's like, you're like the nice guy. You know, like I've dated a bunch of nice guys. Have you guys dated the nice guy? And like the nice guy is always frustrated because he never gets the girl because he's the nice guy. It's a stereotype, but like, you guys have heard that story, right? And I was just like, fuck. I'm the nice guy. I don't get the girl. I'm frustrated. And if you look at it from a human design lens, as a projector early, I'm bitter. Bitter and resentment is what we feel when we're not in alignment. We're not getting what we want. I'm like bitter, frustrated, blah. And so I had to ask, like, what is holding my inner diva or BDE back? What does that stir up within me? What are the stories that come up when I think about that? So I want you all to pause. Like I said, I'm taking you along on this journey with me. I had some major realizations this morning, and I invite you to have just as big of realizations for yourself, especially if you resonate with the good girl persona. So pause and consider the same question. What about ditching the good girl, bye-bye, and stepping into your biggest diva energy triggers you? What does that make you feel? What old stories come up? Like, really feel into it for a moment. Don't just listen to me. Feel and embody. What if I asked you, what if I required you to ditch the good girl today and step into your diva energy? What is your immediate reaction? What comes up? Feel free to share it in the comments as well. I always do this. Share it in the comments. That's what my finger means. Pop it below. So I answered this question and I said, what it triggers within me is that it actually feels easy to be the diva. Like, oh, that doesn't feel so hard. That's okay. Yeah, I can do that. But there's a underlying like texture within that feels easy. Like, let me go do that. That says like there's this inner programming which states that hard is the way. Hard, making things hard, doing things and having them feel hard is the more worthy, admirable, whatever way. That was my internal dialogue. Sure, I can be the diva, but that feels easy. And the hard way is the more admirable, worthy way. So who am I to be the diva if that feels easy? And I should probably just make things hard because that's more worthy and more admirable. It's bullshit, right? It's all bullshit. But at the same time, like, those are literally my thoughts, and so they're worth acknowledging, and I don't have to be hard on myself about it. I can just listen. Okay, so now whatever it made you feel. So when I just asked you to not just listen to me and to actually feel something in this moment, what did you feel? And then where did you feel it in your body? So that dialogue I had around hard is the more admirable, worthy way of doing things, I felt it in my forehead, like right here, right in the top of my forehead. Where in your body do you feel your reaction to that story, that feeling, that sensation that comes up for you? And so I want you to figure out where that is in your body, and then I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes. It's safe. Unless you're driving, it's safe. Or on the treadmill. Otherwise, just close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. And that part of your body where you feel that sensation, what is your earliest memory of this feeling? Trust yourself. What is your earliest memory of this feeling? Breathe into it. I've done this work so many times that I get like immediate answers. If you need longer to feel into it, take your time, go back to this. What is the earliest memory of this feeling? So I knew immediately. I was like, oh, okay. Math class. Sounds ridiculous, right? But math class. And I was put into accelerated, like advanced math classes since like 5th or 6th grade. I was always in advanced math classes, like what felt like my whole life. And in that moment, around 5th or 6th grade, when that first started, my thought was, this is hard. Like, it was always so easy for me. And like, ooh, this is actually a little bit challenging. And this harder trajectory of advanced math classes, this is what good, smart girls have to do. And that is what I needed to see that today, this morning. That was the root that I needed to see. That at 5th or 6th grade, I made a limiting decision. Limiting decisions precede limiting beliefs. At some point, you decided to believe that. In 5th or 6th grade, I decided to believe that good, smart girls do the hard things. Does that stir anything up within you guys? Does anyone have a similar story that they saw? So I'm over here like, holy light bulb moment. Because obviously that's not true, right? I know that's not true at 32 years old, but the 5th, 6th grader in me decided that that was going to be true for her. And she decided that she was going to make that limiting decision and that good, smart girls had to be in advanced math classes and they had to do the hard thing. There's always a root. There's always a root, even if it's not obvious at first. Sometimes it does take some digging. This is why we hire coaches. So I had this light bulb moment, and the dialogue that followed was like, it's not allowed to be easy, or else I'm not using my full potential. And good, smart girls use their full potential. And they use all of their energy to pour out to the world. And that's supposed to feel hard. It's supposed to feel hard. You're supposed to give and give and give until you have nothing left to fucking give. But that makes me a good girl. Good girls work hard. Good girls are in advanced math classes. Good girls give and give and give and give. There's so many limiting beliefs in that story. I hope you guys are seeing this. There's so many limiting decisions followed by limiting beliefs in that inner dialogue. So now I'm curious, what does your inner good girl, or that sensation you just tapped into, have to say about this? What does she have to say about this? Have you had any little light bulb moments? Again, feel free to share in the comments. And then lastly, what does that little girl that still resides within you today, in your mind and your body and your energy? She, like, that 5th, 6th grader of me is not just like disappeared. I'm still her. She's still me. There's still a texture within my energy body that says good, smart girls have to do things the hard way. What does your good girl tell you you have to do that's limiting, that doesn't feel fucking good anymore? So ask that little girl within you, what does she need in order to release this? What does she need in order to release? It could be super simple. It might just be changing her mind and doing life differently and being a different energy. She might need a ritual. She might need to go do something. She might need to take an action. She might need to have a conversation. I don't know. This is for your body to show you. When I asked myself this morning, I literally said, I feel like I need a mini exorcism. I need to pull this little piece, this toxic thread out of my energy. It needs to, almost like a cord cutting, like little exorcism where it's like, I need to pull that out. I need to pull that toxic cord out that says the good, smart girl always has to do things the hard way. And so I went to breathwork. Breathwork. I laid right there on the ground. I turned on my music. I did about 25 minutes of breathwork before I went into any client calls today, and I breathed that toxic thread, that shit out. And in breathwork, which is such an empowering embodiment feeling practice, I transformed that old dialogue into permission to be the fucking diva, the BDE energy, BDE. And by the end, my body was like trembling from release in a safe way. And I felt so clear in my mind, so clear. So I want you guys to see through my storytelling today, and you coming along on your own version of it, your own journey, that the good girl persona, the good girl archetype has layers. She has a root. She has a moment in time when she made that limiting decision in which she decided she was going to be and adhere to the good girl characteristics, behaviors, way of showing up in the world. And I invite you, if you didn't already pause and ask yourself, to find that moment when that decision was made, to ask her how she would like to release that. And I'm like, bye-bye, good girl. So y'all can expect some diva energy. And I hope that in sharing this, and maybe in seeing me as a reflection across your screen, that you also give yourself permission to do the same. Permission to do the same. And releasing all connotations, associations, that is something unattractive or undesirable or too attention grabbing or whatever the story is. and just let yourself lean into it. But it's way easier to lean into it if you do the reprogramming work, the layer, the dirt underneath it first. So that's where I had said a few minutes ago, like, feels easy to actually be the diva, but there's also this major story underneath that says it's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be hard, everything's supposed to be hard. Ooh, inner good girl. We had to go underneath the dirt, we had to remove that programming. Now it really can be easy. Now, life is opened up for me. And this is the power of inner child healing, subconscious reprogramming, and in this case today, I chose to release it through breathwork. So fucking powerful. All right, I want to know below what your inner good girl persona has to say and what does she need to be released. I also am inviting you into my course, Human Design for Empath Entrepreneurs. The cart closes tonight. It is a way to look at your unique energy and to be able to apply that unique coding into your business so that things get to be easy. And maybe you bring a little bit of your inner rebel out and release even more of your inner good girl. I also have tomorrow launching, doors are opening. I'm so fucking excited for the Empath Healers membership, and inside you'll get to experience transformative healings like this, as well as monthly breath work, so you can release, get out of your own freaking way. This is for the healers, healing for the healers of the world. The cart opens tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If you have questions about the Human Design course, shoot me a DM. And I'm super excited to see what your reflections and learnings and takeaways are from today's chat. I'll see you guys soon.